Welcome to Projects Illustrated. Today's project is Calculator number 1. So we're going to work on a calculator. It's going to have the functionality of a calculator with one exception, no interface. So we're going to do the numbers on the screen, numbers in memory. That's when you press equal and start to type in a new number. The operator, plus, minus, whether you press a decimal, whether you press the equal key. We'll also throw in the clear key, but no interface whatsoever. We're going to do all of this from the command line. So let's go into our Eclipse. We're going to create a new project, and we'll call this project Calculator 1. Great. And I'm going to create two objects. The first one is going to be calculator. So new package, class, not package. And we're going to put in a calculator. And I'm going to put no main in. And then I'm going to create another class. And this one is going to be called testing. And I'm going to put a main in there. All right, let's start working on the program. So we need a couple of variables that we're going to keep track of. The display of the calculator, and then when you press, let's say, an equal or a minus or something, the display disappears, but it puts it in memory, and you start typing in a new number. So 10 times 10, or 10 times 5, the 10 will go away, and then you'll see the 5, and then when you press equal, it'll say 50. So we're going to keep track of the number in memory, and for that I'm going to make that a double. And then we're going to keep track of the display, and the display is going to be treated as a string, and it should make things a little easier, and then we'll convert it to a double when we press equal or press an operator, sorry. So the last thing we're going to put in here is the operator itself. So I'm going to treat that as a string. I'm going to do that just to keep the code from looking too messy. And so private string operator equals nothing. So nothing's pressed so far. So the idea is if you haven't pressed a minus, a plus, a divide, something like that, and you go to press the equal key, it shouldn't work. Nothing's been selected yet. All right, now I'm going to put in a getter for the display. This is going to be for when I go and do print line statements. I want to display what the results of pressing the keys are. So this is this ultimately, when hooked up to a user interface, will be called to fill out the display on the screen. All right, I'll put my working number in there, the string. All right, now I'm going to put in all the functions that I'm going to have. So let's get those going. So we're going to do a press, operator. String. New operator. So I plan to pass the minus, plus, divide, multiply. Next one, public void. Press equal. This is going to do most of our logic here. Next, public void. Press number. So I'm going to pass those as a string. Now we're going to press clear. That's going to set everything to default, just like on a regular calculator. Oh, I have one more thing to do. We're going to put in public void, press decimal. So when you press the decimal point, that'll go in. All right, let's start filling this out. So when you press the decimal, we're going to make our working number equal to the working number with a decimal added to it. So if it says 123 on the screen, it'll now say 123 period. There's going to be no code in here to check to make sure you don't hit decimal more than once. This is very basic code so far. When we press clear, we're going to reset all three of the variables that are declared up top. All right, so I've got that done. Okay, now when we press the operator, we're going to then store the working number into the memory number. So what was working goes into memory, and then we clear the working number so you can type in the second number. So let's say we had 123 there and we pressed plus, 123 disappears. Now we can type in 222 and press the equal key. And we set the operator to equal the new operator. Now when we press equal, this is the biggest function by far. We're going to do a case statement, or a switch statement, sorry. And it's going to do different things depending on what's pressed, or what operator was selected. So we're going to switch based on the operator itself. And if no operator was selected and you press equal, we're just not going to do anything. So I need one case statement for each and every one of the operator types, minus. Actually, I'll go plus first, then minus, then multiply, then divide. Another thing this code won't do is check to make sure there's no divide by zero. If we want to make a true calculator app, we need to do a lot more error checking than we are now. All right, so temp working number equals, or plus equals the memory number. So the first thing I do is convert the working number into a double, and then I do all the math. And when it's all done, we clear out the memory number. And then we're going to fill out the result. The working number is going to be equal to the string value of the temp working number. So we convert it to a string and assign it to the working number. That's it. We now have a very primitive calculator app. Oops, I gotta correct a couple of things in here. Let me get these back to semicolon, not from semicolons to colons. And let's put a semicolon at the end of break. There we go. Now we're ready. So I'm going to save it. I'm going to run it to see if there are any errors. The stuff in console over there was from earlier testing, so we can ignore that for now. All right, let's create an instance of our calculator object, or calculator class. Let's create an object. Calc equals new calculator. Okay. Now let's start using it. We have a calculator. So calc dot, I'm going to press a number. And I'm going to press the number 1. And I'm going to press the number 1 again. And I'll press the number 1 again. Then we're going to print the result. System out, print line. And the working number we're going to send to the screen. And then we're going to calculator press an operator. I'll do a multiply. And then I'll multiply the 111 times, actually I'll I'll press equal, and it'll do the math. And let's print the results. What's going to be displayed on the screen of our calculator. We're going to multiply it by 5. So as we go down, we put in a 1, a 1, a 1, multiple 5. The result is 55.0. Great, let's do one more. So let's put in a clear key. And then do one more. So calc dot press clear. Okay, now the calculator is all set to default. We'll press number 1. And we're going to do an add. So we're going to press the plus key. Put in the 2. And then we're going to press the equal key. And then we're going to print the results. To run it, and the result is, of course, 3. 1 plus 2 is 3. All right, so we've done this. The next thing to do with this is to add maybe a little more error checking in, fix a couple of bits of logic that aren't in place, and make a swing interface to utilize this object here.